$30. Daniel versus iSharrieff. I will update the prize pool amount here in a second so you guys know what these guys are playing for. But they're playing a best of 5 for $30. Apparently, iSharrieff knew about the stream that Daniel went and played 7 different people and won them all and said he should have been included in there. He would have taken Daniel down. So we're going to find out right now. iSharrieff is a very high-level ones player. I think the original, one sec, I will talk more in a second. I got to focus on updating this prize pool, showing it and changing the amount because it's not 100, but it is 30. $30. iSharrieff, I think his claim to fame was the, is it 12 Titans? There was some kind of huge qualifier. I remember that it was like best of 1, and I think it was 12 Titans. Somebody remind me if it wasn't. And Sharrieff was like that. That was like his first coming up that he won the whole thing and got to play with the 12 Titans. Ever since then, he's been known as a top ones player. Streams himself, I think I was just telling chat a second ago, iSharrieff, his exact name in game and on the scoreboard, I believe is his exact Twitch link. So feel free to check him out. Whether you're watching on YouTube in the past or right now, he's streaming right now live if you're on Twitch. He had a lot of faith that he would take Daniel down. And Daniel has a lot of faith that he can't lose to anybody. So he's definitely willing to go. It was 12 Titans year 2. Thank you, Bacchus. Dude, Bacchus showed up recently in chat, and he seems to be a historian. He knows his stuff. Sharrieff up 2-0. Sharrieff doing something to Daniel so far that we have not seen in a long time. Putting him on the ropes here at the beginning of this game. Daniel has been in the zone at the start of today. And Sharrieff making it look like he can match the speed. Daniel getting his first, working his way all the way through the corner. Sharrieff just getting bumped around. Can't handle the pressure. You called it? What did you call, Swallows? You're right. We did end up playing a second game. Everybody in chat knew we were going to play more than one game, despite the fact that I insisted there was going to be only one. I didn't realize the sharp game would go the way it did. Sharrieff, a nice takeaway, but hovering on the back wall for so long. I haven't really seen Sharrieff play in a long time. Admittedly, I watched him back when he was playing in that 12 Titans, and I'm not sure how much he's kept up. I've seen him on the leaderboard time and time again in the top 100. But I'm interested to see exactly how his playstyle is. Iffy donating to $30. That is a $60 prize pool. Daniel's going to tie it up, and you guys are not going to get to watch the replay while I update this to $60. Goodness. These guys playing for a little money here. Impromptu. $60 show match, best of 5. Starting out on Neo Tokyo, Daniel has been insisting that we play a different map every game. And I don't really mind that. So I'm down to do it. I actually think it's kind of fun to do that. I always just forget to do it. So we're starting on Neo Tokyo. We'll see if we switch throughout the series. But since Sharrieff going up 2-0, putting Daniel in a deficit, something we rarely ever see him do, he has run 3 back and has brought it back with lots of time left on the clock for the rest of the game to go either way. Wait, is this prize pool for this one or is this for the fantasy match? This is for this one. I think everybody seems to be donating specifically for this one. So we are definitely adding this towards the current games. You love Aquadome? Oh, I've got bad news, Z-Stap. I hate Aquadome. So we're probably never going to do it. Yo! Chase on the Great. Get it to 100. He's adding another 10. He wants to get this to a $100 prize pool. It is now at 70. I'll update it on the next goal. Halfway through this game, Daniel on a 4-goal streak here since the early start from Sharrieff. His carry off the back wall is going to cost him so much boost, but he finds a way to take a shot like nobody else can. We've seen so many different players dribble it off the back wall. And even when he didn't make it all the way to the net, which is actually something he can do frequently, he finds a way to turn it into a quality shot by making sure he drops it onto his car and gets one last touch. It's just a tool that a lot of other players don't have, and we've never seen somebody consistently play those full field dribbles like Daniel does. Daniel, a 1-2 punch, trying to get a power shot past iSharrieff. But iSharrieff is there, and the delayed flip, attempting to bait Daniel in to make a poor challenge. Not going to work. A minute 30 left to go. Daniel versus iSharrieff, $70 prize pool. Daniel off the sidewall. iSharrieff looking to challenge early. I think he probably should have. Daniel's so lethal when he gets in the air. You can't hope to stop him once he's actually started, but Daniel missing. Went for that last touch. Oh my goodness. Iffy rounding it out to the full $100 show match. You guys are insane. Thank you so much for giving these guys some money to play for. All of a sudden, we've got quite a game on our hands. I'll let them know that it's updated to 100 as soon as somebody scores and I can update it. iSharrieff should have an open net right now, but so low, starved on boost. He will get it. 4-3. Let me tab out, update this for you guys so people tuning in can see, and then I'll let them know as well. (4-3). Game number 1 in favor of Daniel. Daniel looking to get a kickoff goal. It seemed like he tried to use a delayed flip with 0 boost to get a kind of flick motion on the ball. There's no other way he was going to find the power to get it past, but ended up floating nowhere near it. iSharrieff sees Daniel with a dribble on top of his car, and Daniel did not decide fast enough. iSharrieff had a lot of time to think about it. As Daniel set up this dribble, he was not making a move to adjust it at all. iSharrieff will just take it off the top, and an easy tap in for a fourth with 33 seconds left to go. iSharrieff has turned on the scoring once again late into this match to tie it back up. Oh my goodness. $125, and iSharrieff will take the early lead 5-4 with 23 seconds on the clock. iSharrieff making great plays, a chip up to himself and an aerial shot for a 5th goal. I can't think right now. $125. Forgot to update the prize pool. I'll do it in a second. Daniel off the wall. He needs this bad. Flip reset. Oh my goodness. The clutchness of Daniel. He needed this kickoff and he needed this goal, and he's so calm and collected. Early flip reset like he always does. Uses it to tap it just under the crossbar. It doesn't get better in terms of placement. Silky smooth, and iSharrieff on the kickoff, low on boost, can't get the save. He has had a really quick wave dash kickoff though. Forky-esque, we've seen from Forky playing those wave dash kickoffs really well. Daniel trying to cut a close angle. The clock winding down. He has a great boost advantage, but iSharrieff will want it to hit the ground too. 5-5 overtime in this game number 1. $125 prize pool. Daniel with an early win. iSharrieff, a field side flip. Is he gonna let this one fall in? He is. iSharrieff. A mistake, a mechanical mistake here in a very important situation. I don't think he was trying to flip in front of the ball. Maybe he thought Daniel was launching an early power shot and he was trying to cut it off, but it almost seemed like a mistake more than intentional. But Daniel will take the game number 1 win as he goes up 1-0. Daniel versus iSharrieff. Back on Neo Tokyo, because I always forget. But I blame you guys. If you didn't donate so much to the prize pool, my head could stay on straight. iSharrieff almost able to sneak a shot at midfield. Stayed with the ball despite not grabbing the boost, and was ever so close to being rewarded. But Daniel will save it off the inside of his post. We actually saw AZAP using that a lot. That is such a creative play that I had never really seen until I saw Zapatos, to be fair. I kind of realize how to say his name now. But he used that save consistently. Whenever somebody shot a rolling ball at his half, he'd always save it off the inside of his post so that he can get a ball straight out to midfield, which feels so risky. I know for sure if I were to do it, I would own goal more than I would hit the post and get it out. But Daniel, AZAP, both feel confident. Nice dribble. A good pinch save on top of the net. Daniel doesn't feel like he has time to steal boost. So iSharrieff is going to be able to reload an early pre-jump. Can Daniel take it around him and get the angle? No way. He can't. It's true. He actually can't. Sometimes I say no way, and then they do it anyways. But this time, truly no way. Daniel couldn't do it. minute in and 1 goal down. Shareef operating on low boost. Might try and take an early flick with that Dominus, but he plays it smart. Rolls the ball behind Daniel, slightly hides behind it. I think Daniel feels like he needs to challenge to win a 50 away, and Shareef gets an easy tap. If Daniel knew what Shareef was doing, he certainly wouldn't have flipped into it. He would have just taken a dribble and pulled it away. But a very smart play from Shareef. Hid behind the ball long enough for Daniel not to be able to get a read. And these guys will be all tied up. Daniel, his full field dribble this time looking like everybody else in the game's full field dribble. Dropping it far from the net. Not able to make anything of it. Shareef has not looked too great in the corners. Right now, I think that's maybe 2 goals in this second game created from the corner. Might have been game 1 that I'm thinking of. But not really forced. Daniel doesn't really have the ball in that dangerous of a position. I didn't watch it from Shareef's perspective. But trying to shadow into that corner and make plays can be really hurtful. You don't normally see defenders trying to play from inside the net, especially not the way that he was faced. Wow, Daniel finding the angle. Nasty shot. A huge kickoff win is really the issue for Shareef here. He can't afford to be losing kickoffs this bad, but just the awareness, the placement of that shot, the front flip, knowing that he's going to get a tap with his left wheel to push it in. Up 3-1, and Shareef trying to make a kickoff adjustment because that last one didn't go well for him, and I tell you what, that wasn't the right adjustment. Let's see if we watch it. Oh, he tried to delay kickoff. He tried to delay kickoff on a diagonal kickoff, but he was hovering right in front of his net, which is basically banking that Daniel is trying to shoot a straight-in goal, which is not often what those players do. That being said, he did figure this one out. A delay kickoff, a single jump, is going to annihilate Daniel. I think that was actually a lot of credit to Daniel. He must have not gone for a regular kickoff. I'd have to go back and watch. But Daniel looked like he almost didn't jump. Like, it's hard to chip a ball straight up in the air like he did unless you don't jump at all. Or maybe Daniel just jumped far too late. Either way, Daniel will get it right back. Gains possession on a kickoff. Flick, crossbar, and down. Shareef not challenging early. Doesn't have faith in Daniel's offense when he gets the ball, and that doesn't seem like a great idea. He was able to steal one in game number 1 by an early challenge in that corner instead of letting Daniel get the dribble going. But maybe just trying to mix it up. Keep Daniel guessing in what will be a potential long series. Daniel high on the side wall. 1 flip reset, 2 flip resets. Oh my gosh! This is unshootable! Chat, this is unshootable. I was about to explain to everybody how he was too far away from the net and that it was unshootable. But Daniel insists on making me look stupid. Somehow, the double flip reset, he scoops the ball and gets so much speed. You can't blame Shareef for not being ready for it. Technically, that shot was pretty low to the ground and far away from the net. You'd think a defender should be able to get a read on that, but it's just, you can't predict what Daniel just did. Doesn't matter where he is on the field. 6-2, Daniel is giving us a nice clip like he always promises once per series. Strong touch from Shareef off the side wall. A really hard time getting back in front of this one. And it seemed like Daniel might have made a mistake, but Shareef could not find the angle. Daniel once again in the air. Once again, a slow rolling ball that doesn't look shootable, and this time it actually is. Shareef, a high bounce dribble, operating on very little boost, but when you have a flat car, you don't often need that much. You can get so much power and height out of just using those flat car flicks that you don't really need to worry about your boost situation too much. Nice, breezy, but Daniel will save it away. That is the thing about Daniel. He is, I think we talked about this right at the end of his 7-game streak the last time we streamed. It's truly his defense might be his best quality. I mean, we don't talk about it a lot because his offense is so insane. But that breezy from Shareef and so many different other shots are great attempts, and Daniel just saves them away like they're nothing. Like, he didn't even take a quality shot. He never had a doubt in his mind that he'd save it away. And they may not be as exciting, and they may not be as clip-worthy, but he just doesn't let people score on him. 7-2, a long shot from Daniel, deep in the corner. Shareef trying to get something going, and you can't blame him. He needs to find some goals with 1:10 left on the clock. No, not at all. His ability to make shots out of literally anything. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. But I just, as the caster, I feel like we need to focus on some of the stuff that, you know, maybe the average viewer would consider boring and maybe not really notice. And that is that Daniel doesn't let anybody score on him. He doesn't even need to score as often as he does, because he can keep such a clean slate. Daniel, nice outplay on the ground. Putting pressure on Shareef. Shareef able to grab that corner boost. Another turn out to midfield. Shareef has been really aggressive in the corners, and it hasn't gone in his favor. A lot of turns upfield towards Daniel, towards the other side. A lot of shadow situations where he's setting up very aggressively. And Daniel has been king of the corner right now. But what is Daniel not the king of? It's hard to know. He is going to waste a few extra seconds here as Shareef reloads and gets back in front of the ball. 9-2, 22 seconds left to go. Shareef stealing this back corner boost. And the midfield. Oh, not able to grab the midfield, and that may end up being crucial. It looks like Daniel doesn't have any interest in it anyways. But it's like I forgot that the game was already over. 10 seconds left on the clock. You can't score 7 goals. So Daniel will take game number 2 as well. $120 prize pool. Daniel is making out. New map, new map, new map. Yes, yes, you're right. I will remember new map. Thank you very much, chat. We will head to another map, not Neo Tokyo. We're going to give one that might be easier for my computer, too. I started to lose some frames. Game 3. Daniel versus Shareef. $120 prize pool. I think I told them that it was updated to 120. Hopefully they know. They at least know they're playing for 100. And I'm not sure that you play any differently if you know it's 120 versus 100. Shareef is able to start this game number 3 out with possession. A nice 50 as Daniel tries to close the distance. Shareef's going to be able to take it away. Another early lead for Shareef. One thing that Shareef can hang his hat on, despite not taking the game just yet, is he is one of the only people to have a lead on Daniel at all. He started game number 1 up 2-0, and now he's up again in game number 3. And it may seem silly to say because it is just the beginning of the games, but man, nobody's really been pressuring Daniel like that at all. No one but the best of the best. And my computer is having a hard time with frames right now. I don't know why. Daniel will get a 50 once again in the corner. Playing so well in the corner. Shareef has to figure out what he needs to be doing there, whether he needs to be pulling off or going sooner. You can't keep losing out these 50s in the corner and expect to win the game. About the sim, it's like a 125, like only Ray. Wait, didn't Donuts make 125? Oh, it's 125. Okay, sounds good. I will update it. Daniel, a second. It's 125. Thank you so much, chat. I am so glad that you're all here to make sure. You know what? I'm punishing myself. I tried to steal $5. I'm making it 130. Daniel up 2-1. Have I caught sleep since the Daniel 7-win rampage? Yeah, a little bit. But he is just trying to go a rampage on every single ones player there ever was. An interesting fake kickoff that is not going to work. I will tab in and out real quick and hope that that fixes a couple frames. Every once in a while it does. What's going on, Melodic Misery? You get that $5 for the script? Sounds good. Dan, a flick for a third. He is lethal right now when he wins kickoffs by this much. I wonder if Shareef needs, I mean, there's really just no hope. He's tried really challenging. I doubt that will consistently work for him for the rest of time. But hanging out on the goal line is not working. They aren't insane flicks by Daniel, but they're just well placed enough that Shareef is left with nothing to do. Shareef off the wall. Wow, he just robbed us of what would have been an insane clip. That flip cancel into the flip reset would have been nasty. But Shareef is stopping it away, not letting Daniel run it up. That being said, He has been stuck in his own half from the kickoff with no boost. No way Daniel brings it back, so of course he will. And Daniel, was it 3? It was 2, right? Let's count again. Here's our first. 2. Did he get a third? No. He taps it 3 times. 2 flip resets. I mean, come on, that's pedestrian for Daniel. Only a double flip reset, but the magic for me is how he starts those dribbles headed so far away from the net and finds a way to bring them all the way back. Daniel, 4-2, has played defense by offense in this game number 3. iSharrieff hasn't even really been able to take a single shot. He will let iSharrieff roll that one at the net, though, and the game will register that as a shot attempt. Okay, at this point, Daniel's just throwing flip resets at every moment he can. It works, though. It works. It baits iSharrieff in. He gets an extra flip reset for the road. 5-2 in favor of Daniel. A chip up to the wall. iSharrieff thought for a second that he was going to be able to beat Daniel to the ball. He has to try and take an opportunity at some point, but Daniel too quick. That's exactly what he wanted to see. iSharrieff trying to take it from him. He is Super Saiyan. I think he's winning the Super Saiyan in the past weeks or so and hasn't come out for a long time. (5-2). iSharrieff, a pop over Dan. A nice prediction on the speedy play that Dan's trying to play right now. And iSharrieff is still within 2. This game number 3 isn't as one-sided as the clips might make it seem. Daniel is certainly better at scoring more fantastic goals. But right now, iSharrieff is in a close game. This is far from over as he has him at 3-5. A good shot on net. Daniel decides to save it only after it's gone 50% of the net. But iSharrieff, a boosted advantage. His flick needed to get more movement than that. That direct flick on the exact same trajectory the ball had been on already is the easiest to save. And he's got a nice dominance, which is so good at redirecting balls with the right flick, but just wasn't able to connect on that exact moment. We're getting a little bit too used to Daniel never ever missing on execution. But iSharrieff, a good takeaway. Some defense for iSharrieff has brought him back within 1. You don't understand how this works on your end, but in your future, can you control if you have the option to watch in lower quality? 17 is just too much. Yeah, Twitch handles that. I'm not sure exactly what the like criteria is, but if enough people are watching and like not enough other people are streaming, they like allocate resources to re-encode people's streams at different qualities. And so sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. Daniel! Oh my goodness. Thought he was going to score a 6. Was able to win out of 50 with a flip reset on the wall, but didn't finish it off. So iSharrieff has an opportunity to tie it up. A great shot from him, but he taps this one away, and Daniel should be able to score it easily. Whether or not he tries to give us a clip in the process is really the question, and he actually lost it away. Dribbling it too slow. iSharrieff's able to recover in time. Daniel didn't want to just smash a direct power shot. This time the flip reset shot. Was that in? No way. That must have been crossbar out. iSharrieff not awarded a save, but that would have been insane if it was. Daniel trying to bump iSharrieff. Playing too slow. And the long shot is saved away. Daniel just back in time. Minute left to go. Daniel a minute away from securing his $130 prize pool. Dan has actually not been able to score with his other signature move, which is doing nothing. Great setups, then do nothing. Usually he's able to score half of his goals that way as defenders try and pre-jump on his effective flip resets. But right now, iSharrieff has been able to defend anytime Daniel just cuts it and drops the ball. But he needs a goal right now. 30 seconds left to go. He's got a good opportunity. This first touch isn't the best. Losing control of the ball as he accelerates it too far in front of him. That being said, a nice outplay at midfield. Daniel getting a little bit greedy for a midfield boost, and iSharrieff will take his open net. Daniel thought he could get the reset, had to jump over iSharrieff as iSharrieff came late and was looking for the bump. And the time that Daniel spent in the air was enough to give an opening for iSharrieff to grab a 5th. 18 seconds left to go. iSharrieff, to stay in this series, needs the next goal. Daniel wants to secure it in 3. 1 flip reset 2. It's literally just counting the flip resets when it gets to Daniel in the air. Not able to get a shot attempt. Sharieff with lots of boost on 0 seconds. Has an opportunity to win the game, and he will! Sharieff will not get swept today. 6-5, a clutch end to Sharieff's game number 3. He will not let the fantastical Daniel take him, at least not in 3, as he sends it to game number 4, and we go 2-1. Daniel versus Sharieff. Sharieff not gonna let Dan take him down in a full sweep. Daniel has actually had a little bit of a hard time sweeping people, which is kind of insane to say. At this point, we are, starting to have a little bit of faith in Daniel. To be fair, it's warranted. We've watched him win 7 matches in a row, or I should say 8 matches in a row, and probably more extending past before a couple streams ago. That being said, despite his dominant performances, there weren't too many sweeps. People are always able to grab a game from him, it seems. I think Rapid was maybe the only sweep in his 7 games, and he really turned it up against Rapid, you can tell. This pinch, not going to be able to get a first, but even worse than that, it's going to be a free pass to Sharieff for his first. Feer to Daniel, get good. Yeah, it's insane when you suggest that a player who drops a single game is underperforming. But the way he has been playing, since he wins these series so consistently, you would think he'd have some more sweeps. But Daniel not going to the kickoff at all. I have roasted a lot of people in the stream recently about not going to kickoffs and how it's never really worked for them. But Daniel might be the exception. Doesn't go to the kickoff at all. Doesn't even fake it. And somehow is able to earn a goal out of it. So another lead for Dan. A high bounce and a dribble. Dan gets the flip reset, but I'm not sure he needed it. Sharieff just seemed like he maybe feels side flipped or feels diagonal flipped. He didn't have a lot of boost. And yeah, he just knew he was in trouble. I'm not sure he would have been able to get up there either way, so he just took a trip out and said, I don't want to get posterized. Like the defender in the lane who, decides to step away instead of get clipped on. Daniel, patient on the bounce dribble, carries it into a carried dribble, but doesn't turn it into anything. Sharieff, nice fake. Good shot from Sharieff, mixing it up. That's what I like to see. He has ripped a couple nice flicks, but one of the things about Daniel's defense is he does have a lot of faith in his opponents. It seems like he's always pre-jumping the successful shot, and that's why he's so good at saving the really tough shots. When somebody hits a nasty one, like Sharieff did when he went for the breezy in the last couple games, Daniel saved it away like it was no big deal. That's because he is kind of pre-jumping pretty hard on the reads of his opponent's shots, which should leave him exposed to exactly what Sharieff just did, sneaking one under him in the near post. Daniel, another dribble on the kickoff. 1, 2, make it a third. Daniel, oh, it's saved away. Sharieff actually gonna get a free goal. No! Sharieff! Oh, he's gonna find it, and it's okay. It's okay. He gets the demo to secure it. Daniel needs to be punished. Going for a triple flip reset should be a risky play. By all means, you should not be going for that. It should be, you should get scored on sometimes. Sharieff proving that it is possible to go for the triple flip reset and not score. Daniel on the kickoff is so nutty with these dribbles, though. Sharieff has got to find a way to not lose these kickoffs to the wall, and I'm not sure that's an easy answer. I mean, Sharieff's been struggling with the kickoff a lot, trying to keep Daniel out. We've seen a couple direct goals. That was probably Sharieff trying to mix it up. But right now, he keeps losing them into the corner and letting Daniel get a possession, and Daniel's just too good. He's too good in the air, given space. And Sharieff needs a really tight angle, and Daniel saves it away. A great setup from Sharieff, but that's what we need to see more of. These possessions have to start in Sharieff's favor if he wants to be able to take Daniel down in the long run. He can't afford to have to go up against that sidewall dribble every single possession, and Daniel's found a way to get right back to it again. It's like we just went for a kickoff. 1-2, not able to get the third. Sharrieff back the other way. Will he be able to outplay Daniel? Nice shot! This is really good creativity from Sharrieff. He was going back to the usuals at the start of this match, but a nice 360. All the movement keeps Daniel from challenging early. Doesn't know when he can go, and then Sharrieff pops it up and very intentionally flies in front of the ball, make sure he gets a touch back behind Daniel. A great redirection and not a shot that a lot of people go for, and that's why he's able to sneak it past Daniel, who has been so consistent on defense. I really like to see what we're seeing out of Sharrieff right now in terms of finding ways to score on the ground and making sure he sticks with new shots every time down the field. Daniel is not going to let you score on anything run of the mill. So once again, another top of the card dribble from Sharrieff. A good placement, high in the top right corner. He should have Daniel on the ropes, but his first touch isn't the best, and he is not nearly as consistent at turning those into something as Daniel is. It doesn't matter what kind of first touch Daniel gets. He finds a way to turn it into goal. Once again, Daniel off the wall. He is able to bait Sharrieff into not moving. Daniel! You can't do anything. You have to sit and wait to see if you can make an adjustment to what Daniel does, and Sharrieff waits too long. The Musty hooks it off the crossbar, and one last touch to finish it off. Sharrieff is stuck watching, shadowing in the net. 6-4 for Daniel. 1:40 left to go. Sharrieff trying a new kickoff here. Really late fake, letting Daniel win it into his half. And honestly, this is actually a better situation for him than when he loses it to the wall. So not a bad idea, a risk that might be worth taking against the guy who is just way too good on those wall to air dribbles. That being said, he's going to show us how to do it with a high bounce instead of coming off the wall. Or maybe not. Sharrieff, every once in a while, is able to get a counterattack. A fifth for him within one goal. This is exactly where he had Daniel at the start of game number 4. Or sorry, start of game number 3, when he was able to tie it up and win it in overtime. Daniel's momentum slowly whittling away as the time goes on. He's not able to grab this midfield boost, and Sharrieff getting exotic on the ground dribble here as he flips 360s on the corner of the wall and ends up losing possession because of it. Daniel once again from the corner. He will turn anything into a shot, but Sharrieff has gotten so much better on defense right now. Daniel is still putting the same kind of insane shots on net. The early challenge, though, will get red. Daniel plays it quickly off the back wall. Great adjustment. The reads that Daniel makes, he can see he's only one jump off the wall when he can tell that Sharrieff is coming to challenge him early, so he just plays quick to the ball, taps it strong, and gets the double touch on the outplay. 7-5 in favor of Daniel. 37 seconds left to go. Daniel is just N.A. Jorias at this point. Daniel is insane. He's got another wall to air dribble. Chat, any predictions on how many flip resets he gets? Only 2! Sharrieff can't save this one away. If the mods were fast enough. I mean, at this point, we should actually make predictions. How many flip resets will Daniel get in the whole series? What do you guys think the line is? What do you think the line is? Well, maybe we can go game by game, if that makes it easier. And it doesn't matter. I'm not saying flip reset goals. Just how many times does he get a reset off the ball? At this point, he's done it, I don't know, too many times. Daniel, 8-5, looks like he has secured this $130 prize pool. These guys haven't been able to talk about going 80-20, but I think what we're going to do is prize pool's over $100, and I want to say this was Johnny Boy's original rule, is they do get split 80-20. So we'll probably do it again, 80-20. 80 of the 130 going to Dan. 20 going to Sharrieff. GG's. Another good one for the road. Sheesh, chat. Daniel versus Sharrieff. Sharrieff not gonna let Dan take him down in a full sweep. Daniel has actually had a little bit of a hard time sweeping people, which is kind of insane to say. At this point, we are, starting to have a little bit of faith in Daniel. to be fair, it's warranted. We've watched him win 7 matches in a row, or I should say 8 matches in a row, and probably more extending past before a couple streams ago. That being said, despite his dominant performances, there weren't too many sweeps. People are always able to grab a game from him, it seems. I think Rapid was maybe the only sweep in his 7 games, and he really turned it up against Rapid, you can tell. This pinch, not going to be able to get a first, but even worse than that, it's going to be a free pass to iSharrieff for his first. Feer to Daniel, get good. Yeah, it's insane when you suggest that a player who drops a single game is underperforming. But the way he has been playing, since he wins these series so consistently, you would think he'd have some more sweeps. But Daniel not going to the kickoff at all. I have roasted a lot of people in the stream recently about not going to kickoffs and how it's never really worked for them. But Daniel might be the exception. Doesn't go to the kickoff at all. Doesn't even fake it. And somehow is able to earn a goal out of it. So another lead for Dan. A high bounce and a dribble. Dan gets the flip reset, but I'm not sure he needed it. iSharrieff just seemed like he maybe feels side flipped or feels diagonal flipped. He didn't have a lot of boost. And yeah, he just knew he's in trouble. I'm not sure he would have been able to get up there either way, so he just took a trip out and said, I don't want to get posterized. Like the defender in the lane who, you know, decides to step away instead of get clipped on. Daniel, patient on the bounce dribble, carries it into a carry dribble, but doesn't turn it into anything. iSharrieff, nice fake. Good shot from iSharrieff, mixing it up. That's what I like to see. He has ripped a couple nice flicks, but one of the things about Daniel's defense is he does have a lot of faith in his opponents. It seems like he's always pre-jumping the successful shot, and that's why he's so good at saving the really tough shots. When, you know, when somebody hits a nasty one, like iSharrieff did when he went for the breezy in the last couple games, Daniel saved it away like it was no big deal. That's because he is kind of pre-jumping pretty hard on the reads of his opponent's shots, which should leave him exposed to exactly what iSharrieff just did, sneaking one under him in the near post. Daniel, another dribble on the kickoff. 1, 2, make it a third. Daniel, oh, it's saved away. iSharrieff actually gonna get a free goal. No, iSharrieff. Oh, he's gonna find it, and it's okay. It's okay. He gets the demo to secure it. Daniel needs to be punished. Going for a triple flip reset should be a risky play. By all means, you should not be going for that. It should be, you know, you should get scored on sometimes. iSharrieff proving that it is possible to go for the triple flip reset and not score. Daniel on the kickoff is so nutty with these dribbles, though. iSharrieff has got to find a way to not lose these kickoffs to the wall, and I'm not sure that's an easy answer. I mean, iSharrieff's been struggling with the kickoff a lot, trying to keep Daniel out. We've seen a couple direct goals. That was probably iSharrieff trying to mix it up. But right now, he keeps losing them into the corner and letting Daniel get a possession, and Daniel's just too good. He's too good in the air, given space. And iSharrieff needs a really tight angle, and Daniel saves it away. A great setup from iSharrieff, but that's what we need to see more of. These possessions have to start in iSharrieff's favor if he wants to be able to take Daniel down in the long run. He can't afford to have to go up against that sidewall dribble every single possession, and Daniel's found a way to get right back to it again. It's like we just went for a kickoff. 1-2, not able to get the third. iSharrieff back the other way. Will he be able to outplay Daniel? Nice shot! This is really good creativity from iSharrieff. He was going back to the usuals at the start of this match, but a nice 360. All the movement keeps Daniel from challenging early. Doesn't know when he can go, and then iSharrieff pops it up and very intentionally flies in front of the ball, makes sure he gets a touch back behind Daniel. A great redirection and not a shot that a lot of people go for, and that's why he's able to sneak it past Daniel, who has been so consistent on defense. I'd really like to see what we're seeing out of iSharrieff right now in terms of finding ways to score on the ground and making sure he sticks with new shots every time down the field. Daniel is not going to let you score on anything run of the mill. So once again, another top of the card dribble from iSharrieff. A good placement. High in the top right corner. He should have Daniel on the ropes, but his first touch isn't the best, and he is not nearly as consistent at turning those into something as Daniel is. It doesn't matter what kind of first touch Daniel gets. He finds a way to turn it into goal. Once again, Daniel off the wall. He is able to bait iSharrieff into not moving. Daniel! You can't do anything. You have to sit and wait to see if you can make an adjustment to what Daniel does, and iSharrieff waits too long. The Musty hooks it off the crossbar, and one last touch to finish it off. iSharrieff is stuck watching, shadowing in the net. 6-4 for Daniel. A minute 40 left to go. iSharrieff trying a new kickoff here. Really late fake, letting Daniel win it into his half. And honestly, this is actually a better situation for him than when he loses it to the wall. So not a bad idea. A risk that might be worth taking against the guy who is just way too good on those wall to air dribbles. That being said, he's going to show us how to do it with a high bounce instead of coming off the wall. Or maybe not. iSharrieff, every once in a while, is able to get a counterattack. A fifth for him within one goal. This is exactly where he had Daniel at the start of game number 4. Or sorry, start of game number 3, when he was able to tie it up and win it in overtime. Daniel's momentum slowly whittling away as the time goes on. He's not able to grab this midfield boost, and iSharrieff getting exotic on the ground dribble here as he flips 360s on the corner of the wall and ends up losing possession because of it. Daniel once again from the corner. He will turn anything into a shot, but iSharrieff has gotten so much better on defense right now. Daniel is still putting the same kind of insane shots on net. The early challenge, though, will get red. Daniel plays it quickly off the back wall. Great adjustment. The reads that Daniel makes, he can see he's only one jump off the wall when he can tell that iSharrieff is coming to challenge him early, so he just plays quick to the ball, taps it strong, and gets the double touch on the outplay. 7-5 in favor of Daniel. 37 seconds left to go. Daniel is just N.A. Jorias at this point. Daniel is insane. He's got another wall to air dribble. Chat, any predictions on how many flip resets he gets? Only 2! iSharrieff can't save this one away. If the mods were fast enough. I mean, at this point, we should actually make predictions. How many flip resets will Daniel get in the whole series? What do you guys think the line is? What do you think the line is? Well, maybe we can go game by game, if that makes it easier. And it doesn't matter. I'm not saying flip reset goals. Just how many times does he get a reset off the ball? At this point, he's done it, I don't know, too many times. Daniel, 8-5. Looks like he has secured this $130 prize pool. These guys haven't been able to talk about going 80-20, but I think what we're going to do is prize pool's over $100, and I want to say this was Johnny Boy's original rule, is they do get split 80-20. So we'll probably do it again, 80-20. 80 of the 130 going to Dan, 20 going to iSharrieff. GG's. Another good one for the road. Sheesh, chat.